Okay, this is a check for $35,000, and it is to build a park.
How generous.
Yes, it's really generous.
Now say, Viva Venezuela!
Viva Venezuela!
Viva Chavez!
Thank you, Venezuela.
Viva Chavez, say it.
Ah, come on. I don't want to viva that guy.
This is Hugo Chavez. To some, he's a hero. To others, he's a fucking idiot. A revolutionary, a man of the people, and the world's most photogenic man. But he isn't who we're going to focus on. Instead, we offer the people. Instead of believing that one man can solve everyone's problems, we're going to examine the people's role in solving their own. When there is discussion about the people, they're usually lumped together. But we feel that this takes away from them. We find ourselves at a bit of a quandary, so we too will lump them together, for the sake of argument.
Venezuela's history starts with oil and democracy, which are really difficult to separate. Oil became the saving grace for Venezuela, which bankrolled their democracy. From this oil democracy, they began to dish out social welfare programs. But eventually, the bastards in charge started bathing in the oil profits without inviting the people to the pool party.
Now let's move ahead into the Caracazo. The Caracazo is my fucking jam. Well, sort of. But honestly, it is the moment that the efforts of the people, who were still sorely pissed that they didn't get invited to the oil pool party, lashed out towards the rich. Eventually, the government rolls out the big guns and ends this armed struggle, but the shit had hit the proverbial fan, kids. And this shitstorm was smeared in the hearts of all.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again because
So a few years later, enter this goofy looking motherfucker. He attempts a coup and fails. Like it was bad. Like really bad. Like he goes to jail bad. Chavez in his greatest moment concedes, but ends with,
Compañeros, lamentablemente, por ahora, los objetivos que nos planteamos no fueron logrados en la ciudad capital.
Now let me tell you folks, even your humble narrator thought this was pretty fucking cool. Anyway, while he's licking his wounds, the Prez realizes that this dude is revered by the people, so he gives him a get-out-of-jail-free card. A few years pass, Chavez runs for president, and wins. Woo! Best day ever, or whatever, right? Probably. Or not. Depends on who you ask. Well, it is because of the people's effort that he even matters. The Caracazo shows the guerrilla efforts and rebellion that had been building as the government greed persisted, and the poor couldn't even eat. Chavez succeeded because of the people. He was the Steve Jobs of this operation. The people moved for change. They fought for change. They programmed and coded the new Apple products while he wore his little get-up in front of everyone. In fact, the voter turnout alone can show the demand and force for change that the people were.
Let's see how Mr. Paraoy's tenure went. So he did keep some of his promises of some social programs. Literacy for the poor, asking Fidel to send doctors,
starting the government talk show with higher ratings than fucking Oprah and Ellen combined.
All-around poverty was also decreased.
He also improved relationships with the Caribbean. But more importantly, voter turnout and political efficacy was at an all-time high.
There were more grassroots organizations.
But there was no productive base outside the political arena, which does not allow for effective change based on what is happening in the communities. But the major fucking problem was dependence on oil, or as we call it, the black gold chain. And what a chain it was. Venezuela couldn't get out of its dependence on fucking oil. In fact, their dependence grew because of the rising cost of oil. You would think that they're Saudi Arabia or some shit. Oh wait, they pretty much are when it comes to oil. Another major problem was food.
The economic structure being so heavily dependent on oil overvalues currency, making imports cheaper.
During time of food shortages, the government would import food, which undermines the developing agricultural sector. Small government-funded co-ops began to pop up, but they all went to shit because the effort was top-down.
There needed to be a grassroots infrastructure for the agricultural sector to flourish.
Not sucking on the oil's teat. This problem still persists today with Maduro.
Point of the story, Chavez did some good and some bad, but the resilience of the people is a lesson that should be taken away from these kids. They wanted change. They showed up and supported Chavez. They wanted someone who would build some structures to facilitate the well-being of Venezuelans.
Viva Chavez.
Yes, Viva Chavez.